Chapter 24 Blended. Mom, of course, is still crazy concerned about the problems at school. She and Dad even had a brief conversation about it yesterday at the handoff, and there wasn't a hint of snarling. She tiptoes in my room even before my alarm goes off on Monday morning. It's still dark outside. She lifts up Grandma's quilt and snuggles in next to me. Nothing is better than curling up with your mom first thing in the morning. You okay? She whispers. Yeah, I am now. I snuggle closer. You can stay home if you don't feel safe, you know. I pause. I know she'd let me if I asked, and I'm betting some kids will not show up today, but I actually want to go to school. I know, that's just messed up. But I need to be with my friends. Monty still hasn't responded to any of my texts or emails, so I'm really hoping maybe she'll be there and I can see how she's doing. No, I want to go, I tell my mom emphatically. I'm not going to let one crazy person mess everything up. That's my brave Izzy, she says. I'm not brave. I'm nosy, I tell her. The school must have figured out who did it by now, and I need to talk to my friends. I'll see if I can rustle up a gourmet breakfast for us, she says, leaving her warm spot by my side. Can you pop open a pack of cinnamon rolls, I ask. You got it, she hollers as she heads to the kitchen. And don't be dawdling in the shower like it's your own personal spa day, Izzy. You still have to make your bed and tidy up. What a mess in here. And you got to get to school on time. I make a face, but say, okay, Mom. In the kitchen, Mom, fabulous Mom, has made the cinnamon rolls. Her t-shirt this morning says, I like how, when you read this, the little voice in your head takes pauses. Ha. Even though John Mark rarely drinks the stuff, he takes the time to brew coffee for Mom every morning. It's sitting on the table in her favorite mug with 3 almond-flavored creamer packs beside it. John Mark is really nice to my mom in that way. Between that and the cinnamon rolls, the kitchen smells extra good. It makes me feel like maybe the day will be okay. Sweet rolls gobbled, milk gulped, jacket zipped, and it's time for me to go. Mom gives me a hug, and I lug my Casio, my backpack, and my piano music out to John Mark's truck, which he's already got running, warming it up. I sling my stuff onto the back seat, being careful with the keyboard. John Mark will bring it in when he picks me up from school, so I can practice at Waffle House until Mom gets off work. We're almost to school when he pulls the truck into a parking space about a block away. What's up, I ask. Finally, he says, this thing that happened at school with your friend Amani makes me sick to my stomach. And then he pauses. And, well, I feel like I need to tell you a couple things about me. I look at him kind of sideways. Huh? I'm wondering where he's going with this. He rubs his hand across his face, and then he says, his voice low and quiet, I know the kind of people who do terrible stuff like hang nooses. Say what, I think? I wait one click, then ask him carefully, you do? Yeah, I grew up with them. My mom and dad, they were flat out racist. I spent a lot of time hiding behind the sofa and being scared. It's hard for me to imagine John Mark as a little boy. He's so big and tough looking now. What were you hiding from, I ask him. My dad loved him some liquor, and he'd have his friends over every Saturday for whiskey and whatever. After they'd had 2 or 3 drinks, or more, they'd really relax and start talking smack. They'd say really nasty things about Jewish people and black people and folks from other countries who lived here. Basically, anyone who wasn't white. John Mark gripped the steering wheel like he wants to snap it in half. What'd you do, I ask. Nothing, he admits, sounding sheepish. Nothing at all. At least not to my dad. He beat the crap out of me. I was just plain scared of him. I kind of understood what he was saying. My father, he never changed, John Mark continues. But I swore I wouldn't grow up to be like him. I ended up having friends of every color at school, and I knew that none of that stuff my dad said was true. I looked away. I'm kind of glad I never met him, John Mark. John Mark's nodding and nodding. Then he turns to me and says, his voice suddenly loud for inside the cab of the truck. I am not like my father, Isabella. You need to know that. I look over at him. Tears have actually welled up in his eyes. My mom has found herself a really good guy. I think for the second time that day. And now, it's me who's almost teary. We sit in the truck for a long time. Then he shifts into drive, and we roll into the school parking lot. There are a lot of cars in the drop-off line, a lot more cars in the drop-off line than usual. It looks like the kids who usually take the bus seem to be getting rides from their parents today. Then I count 6 police cars. Some have lights flashing, some just sit there in the way of the buses and the cars. I lean forward. What's going on? Kids are standing around, huddled in groups. Everything looks okay, but it just feels wrong. There are police everywhere. I'm starting to freak out. What if more bad stuff happens? What has happened? I've got a clencher grip on the door handle. John Mark reaches over and squeezes my hand. You got this, Izzy. I've got you. You hear? I blink and breathe. I squeeze back. Yeah, I say, letting my breath out in a whoosh. I'm good. Thanks, John Mark. And I mean it. Cars are inching to the drop-off point. John Mark stops the truck in front of a large group of black students. They look like 8th graders. You sure? John Mark asks. Yeah, I'm okay, I tell him. But am I okay? I'm not. I totally have the jitters. He seems to know this. So John Mark, the ruddy-faced, black leather jacket wearing, muscle-bound tattooed white guy, gets out, walks around the front of the truck, and opens the passenger door. He bows and offers me his hand. I take it and hop off the cab. Then, with the truck still running, he walks with me right up to the front door of the school. I'm too nervous to look to the right or the left. John Mark then winks, bows to me once more, and heads back to the truck, the heels of his boots thunking with every step. He climbs back into the cab and, purposely I'm sure, revs the engine just once. Then, as the bell rings for us to go inside, someone touches my shoulder. It's Clint Heyman, the white boy with the gorgeous green eyes. What makes me reach up and smooth my hair? Nice truck, he says. Then he disappears into the crowd of kids.